Mother of a child with Asperger's disorder, I am very conscientious about potential environmental toxins and insults our families are exposed to in our home and around our home. I have abstained from using unnecessary chemical cleaners in my house. Much to the dismay of my neighbors, I have never used chemical treatments on my lawn. When given this assignment for anthropology, I investigated the use of wood chips in addition to the lawn treatments. The practice of spreading wood chips in our flower beds seems to have many more cons than pros. Americans spend millions of dollars every year on landscaping supplies and services. I personally spend $300 to $500 every year to put down wood chips in my flower beds. Why do I do this? I live in the woods. I have a brown house. It seems very redundant. We're so focused on beauty and uniformity as our cultural norms that we don't care about the unnecessary risks we are introducing on our home turf. That's why I've chosen to explore the nature of wood chips. They were chemically treated with arsenic and only banned from residential use in 2003. Arsenic around our homes, really, with our children playing. They can also attract termites looking for food right in your home, which really eliminates the need for termite detection systems that we were paying $290 a year for to have monitored from an exterminator facility that would come in and check the traps once a month. Another totally useless expense. Another concern that we have with wood chips is that they haven't been properly aged or treated. The nitrogen is taken right out of the soil and soaked up into the wood chips, depleting the soil of nitrogen that's necessary for plants. The wood chips also can contain poison ivy oil, and the oil can remain active for months. And if the wood chips are burnt with regular debris that you're moving away, then the oil then becomes airborne, and it can actually be inhaled in lungs, and people can get it on their skin as well. And lastly, see all these beautiful trees? The leaves fall every year, and we pay a different man to come and take them all away. Unfortunately, the wood chips get sucked up along with them. So I decided this year I'm going to boycott wood chips. And I'm going to ask my neighbors their opinions. Continuing on about our practices that we use in the United States for cultural norms, exploring the use of wood chips in our landscaping, I'm going to ask my neighbor Phil Coffey a few questions regarding wood chips. So how do you feel about the use of wood chips in landscaping?
I know a lot of people use wood chips to landscape, and I think that's really a personal choice. First thought is whatever the homeowner thinks is appropriate to do for their landscaping, because I'm one to think everyone should keep up their home,
right,
and do what they like. So you want to do what is appropriate in your mind. So what you do is personal to your thoughts and family. The way we do it is personal to ours. So your wood chips are appropriate for you.
Do you care at all if I don't use wood chips at all on my lawn and it just stays the way that it currently looks right now?
That'd be fine with us. However, I think somewhere in the back of my mind I read where there was a concern about termites. That if you purchase the wood chip from a reputable dealer, I think they've been treated already so you don't have the potential threat of termites. And the other thought is nitrogen. So I put nitrogen in the soil constantly. So it's easy to put the fertilizer and the other applications you can have, so it wouldn't have a deleterious effect upon your soil there necessarily.
So what did I learn from this anthropology project? Perhaps the reason that we perform a practice or a cultural norm isn't what we think it is. And perhaps instead of keeping up with the Joneses, we should ask the Joneses if they're keeping up with us. We may be very surprised by the answer.